Hey guys, as you're coming in viewing this video, please like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I know you guys already saw the title of this video, so I'm gonna jump right into it. If you're thinking about working in the childcare industry, you might want to think again. I have 20 plus years of working in the childcare industry, working as a substitute teacher in the public school system, from being a certified behavioral health technician for children that are diagnosed with autism. And I have worked for children's homes. I have worked for preschools and daycares, and I have been a child care or a child advocate for the court system as an advocate. And in this clip, I'm going to discuss more. So as you can see, I have a lot of experience, 20 plus years of experience working in the childcare industry from various positions and jobs and careers. I recently just left my career as a certified behavior technician because of the stress level that it is. And I'm gonna get more into that later on in this video. But here's are some reasons why you should really consider. This is not for the weak or the faint. This is for the strong. And if you are a person that's not laid back, that is a disciplined person and a no tolerance person, the childcare industry is not for you. If you don't have patience, it's not for you. You can get locked up, put in jail, or lose your job and have a criminal background on your record as child abuse. And I'm gonna get further into what I mean by that. So it depends on what type of line of work that you're considering, whether it be preschool, public school system, daycares, like I said, preschools or daycares or public school systems. If you're trying to become a behavioral health technician, a certified behavioral health technician, whatever it is that whatever line of work that you're trying to go into in the childcare field, you gotta have patience. You got to know that those kids get violent. They're spoiled. A lot of them are spoiled rotten. A lot of them are being raised by single parents. And a lot of them are being raised by young single parents. And a lot of them, they get their way and they have their way at home. And then you're dealing with this. So now I'm going to get more into the behavioral health technician, depending on what kind of level of they're diagnosed with of autism is the type of level that you're going to deal with. Feces being smeared on the wall, you having to de-escalate the situation because they're throwing chairs at you, smacking your face so hard that they're pulling fire from your face, throwing chairs and objects at you, and then you have to de-escalate the situation. Or you have to be equipped with what you call it, self-defense classes. It's a lot that you have to consider when you're going into if you're going into a behavioral health technician position. I recently been doing it for a few years, and over time I just got burnt out. I just got completely burnt out because a lot of young parents that have children that are diagnosed with autism, they don't know how to handle the situation. And depending on the level of autism that child is diagnosed with, that's another issue. I had one case where I had to do home behavior therapy, where you go out to the private homes and you give them private one-on-one therapy in their private home. And before or during the pandemic, when it first broke out, I was kind of glad that it happened. It made me recollect and rethink of being an entrepreneur and working for myself. That's what I would recommend anyone do. Work for themselves, because the childcare industry is not for everyone. And I ended up letting that career go because it was just so intense. Kids were putting their hands on me, and of course you cannot defend yourself. You have to be you have to deal with it, and that's torture, and that can be deadly and harmful. You can end up in the hospital. You can end up even dead because these kids are violent, and a lot of times their parents, they don't discipline them, and then when you have an issue with it, then you're faced with the consequences and not the parent or the child. I'm gonna go more into other ways and why you need to reconsider. So let's say you want to go into the public school system as a substitute teacher or a certified or licensed school teacher. That's even becoming very bad now, where it's been like that for years now. But Kids are even coming up to the school with guns. Now they're trying to pass a law where they're trying to allow the school teachers to have protection to protect themselves against these unruly or like undisciplined kids that are violent, that can cause death to the teacher or the worker. So now you're dealing with a disrespectful child. So you got to deal with that. You got to deal with the parent. You got to deal with the school system and all of this stuff. And so you might want to reconsider going into the child field for that. Then you have like the preschools and the daycares where preschool owners or daycare owners that own the preschool got their grandkids there or their children there. And then you are the worker, looking over their children. And then now you got favoritism. Now you got cameras on you, and then them getting mad at you because you said something to their grandchild or their child that was professional and that was right, and that the child was in the wrong. Then you got to deal with stuff like that. You got to deal with people that are workers. They got their child. They work there at the preschool or daycare, and they also have their child there as well. Now you got to deal with that and favoritism with that. Every time you say something professionally to the child, when the child is doing something disrespectful or breaking rules, and then you got them coming over to the classroom trying to tell you not to say nothing to their child. You got to deal with things like that. So keep these things in mind, people. So now that we got that out of the way, now I want to go more deeper into the issue of these children. Now, a lot of these kids, I'm kind of getting off a topic, but I'm still staying within topic. A lot of these kids are being sent to school with their own lunches, depending on what type of childcare industry you're working in. Like I used to, like I said, I had a career as a certified behavior technician, so they had to bring their own lunch to the agency when we would execute out like the mental health sessions. And these kids will be having high toast fruit corn syrup like Nutty Buddies, cookies, Lunchables, over processed foods, no type of plant-based meals or diets. These kids are obese, overweight. They're drinking sodas with all type of sugars and high toast fruit corn syrup, not eating nothing like their fruits and vegetables, like eating carrots, a bag of carrots or some celery sticks with peanut butter, or a fruit smoothie drink, or lots of vegetables and fruits. It's a way to make things fun and teach your child how to eat healthy. No, they're sending their child up here with junk food, and that stuff does something to the mind. That stuff causes autism and all kind of other things. Then you got a lot of single parent homes where a lot of these women are raising these sons and these daughters by themselves. And I'm not saying that a 2-parent home will be any better, but it does make a difference. And I understand that people die off, people are killed in the line of duty, all kind of circumstances causes the child to be in certain situations. I'm not saying that. I know single parents are capable of raising their own child. They've been doing it for years. But you got a lot of parents that are young that don't care. They just out there. The new generation that's raising these kids today are horrible. Instead of raising them, they're sitting up there letting the internet raise them and social media raise them. So we're living in a real messed up generation now where kids are out in the streets being disrespectful to their elders, out here in the street acting like hoodlums, acting totally, completely out of control. And then the workers and the teachers and people that work in the childcare industry are faced dealing with this madness while their parents are out doing what they want to do, while we have to deal with the madness and while we're there raising their kids that they don't have time to raise. And it's not fair or right. And that's why a lot of people in this line of work end up getting burnt out and they remove themselves from the situation. And now I'm going to go more deep into the situation, how you can avoid it if you go into it and then you have second thoughts about it. So I'm going to go into that in the next clip. So now I'm finna talk about a personal situation. Let me put my water down. Let me get a little drink first. So I had a little situation, right, where you can avoid it early. And I'm gonna show y'all how you can avoid it early. I was working as a certified health behavior technician for two autism children that were diagnosed with autism. And the mother stayed in the parents stayed in a wealthy neighborhood. And it was a really nice home, and they had cameras inside of the home and outside of the home. and they would see everything that their child is doing, and they had an audio microphone so they can hear what the worker or the behavior technician is saying as well to their child. And it was one of her sons that was spoiled rotten, and nothing that was never said to him, or he was never disciplined, but the other one was more disciplined. And so I had the one that was more disciplined. My other worker had the one that was unruly and not disciplined. And he would come over to my sessions with his brother, and he would come over there putting his hands on me for no reason at all. And their parents would see this on their cameras and audios, and they would say not a word. And when you see things like this taking place, that's when you got to get yourself out of it fast. You have to remove yourself from the situation. This is why I'm saying that you have to remove yourself from the situation. Now, this is your call. You can put in a resign letter. Sorry about that, guys. A resign letter you can put in, but this is why I don't recommend putting in a resign letter when you're in situations like this. It's going to be a time when you're going to not feel like dealing with that, and you can snap. So you want to avoid getting put in jail. You want to avoid having criminal charges being put on your record. Not trying to make it be extreme, but it can get to that point. And so you want to remove yourself from the situation because you can be let go from the job. You can, all kind of things can be placed on you, making it hard for you to work in the childcare industry again. So hopefully you guys understand what I mean by that. So when you see yourself in situations such as this, you want to remove yourself from the situation like I did. So again, let's resurface and recap back what I said. So I'm dealing with a patient or a client that I do not have personally, but my other colleague has, and that client is coming over to my sessions, and I'm gonna tell you why nothing will happen. Like if you get the parent involved, you tell the parent, hey, or you talk to the agency, none of that works. I have done all of that. All it does is get worse from there. And so that's why you want to remove yourself from the situation. So once you see that you're in a situation like that, you just remove yourself from the situation. Tell them that you don't have time to put in a resignation letter or a resign letter or whatever you want to call it, unless they can remove you and place you somewhere else where it's a little bit more low key and the client is not out of control and you're not in harm's way or danger. Then you can do a resign letter if you're transferred to another client. But if you can't get transferred to another client, you're just going to have to tell them that, hey, I'm going to have to leave. I'm in harm's way. I cannot work this all the way out until you find another worker. I need to remove myself from the situation now. This can cost you your life. This can cost you to be put in jail, because there's some days where everybody is human and we all make mistakes, and some days we just don't feel like it. One day you might walk into work and you just might not feel like dealing with Billy Bob or Junior acting up or cutting up on you. So that's why you want to reconsider. Working for the childcare industry. If you are thinking about going into the field of this, is doing this as a career. Now, this is not to discourage anyone that wants to go into this field. It's nothing wrong with it. People, the youth, the young youth, and the future of the youth, they need us. So if you're called for this, hey, by any means, go knock yourself out. But for the people that this is not really for, you need to just really think and reconsider. Everything has its pros and cons. Anything. So guys, I hope this helped you out and help you reconsider, help you rethink. Always think about being an entrepreneur and working for yourself. That is always good. Thanks for watching and listening. Take care. Shalom, and please like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell.